For the next 2 weeks until spring break, we're going to be working on your annotated bibliography. A bibliography is really just a list of books or resources. So you can see that word is biblio, book, graphy is writing, so it's a book list. You have done bibliographies in the past with your works cited pages at the end of your essays. This one, though, is an annotated bibliography. So this is where you'll take that book list, or in this case, article list, and you will include writing about those sources. So this can be summary or evaluation. So think about when you're annotating a text, you write summary and then analysis on the side. So the annotated bibliography, you will summarize and then evaluate your sources. 3 parts of an annotated bibliography, the annotations can be summary, like we just said. So this is, you would talk about what is the main argument of the article, the point of it, what topics are covered. If someone asked you about it, what would you say? Another thing you can do in your annotated bibliography is assess the source. So how helpful would that source be if you were going to write a research paper? Would it be useful to you? How does it compare to other sources in your bibliography? Is the information reliable? Is it biased or objective? And then what is the goal of that source or the author's purpose? The final thing you can do in an annotated bibliography is reflect on the source. This is where you'll relate it more to your research. So how does it fit into your research process? Is it helpful to you? How is it helping to shape your argument, your thinking about the topic? How would you be able to use this source in your research project? And probably most interesting, I want you to think about, how does this change the way you think about your topic? There are several reasons to write an annotated bibliography. Probably the most immediate one is that you will very likely be asked to write an annotated bibliography in college. So in courses that would require research, often the professor will have you do the annotated bibliography at the beginning of the semester so that they can check and see that you're on the right track in your research before you turn in the final paper at the end of the semester. For our purposes, though, you learn more about your topic when you do an annotated bibliography. This is part of your research process, and it forces you to read more deeply into the sources because you have to do work with the sources instead of just collect a list of articles. It also helps you formulate your thesis. So if you're researching, you're going to be tempted to just, pull any source that you can find that matches with your topic. But when you're doing the annotated bibliography and you're being forced to answer the questions for the writing part of the bibliography, this will help shape your thinking about the topic and will help you figure out your actual perspective on the topic, help you formulate your argument. On the second page of this handout, it has all of the requirements, and we'll go through each of these in more detail as we get to them. Today we're starting with the research question, so I'll do a separate video for that. Notice that your bibliography, you'll only be doing 3 sources, so 3 citations. Each of those sources, you'll need 2 separate paragraphs. You'll have a summary paragraph, and we're going to use the Précis format for that. So that's why we've been practicing the Précis so much, except the last sentence, the so what, will go for the reflection part. And then the reflection paragraph is the second one. This is the one that you'll evaluate the source for bias and how it would be useful to your research and relate it back to your research project. And we're going to end the annotated bibliography with a thesis. So any research paper that you would need to write, you have to have a claim that you're trying to prove with your research. So what you wrote in grade school where you would read about Abraham Lincoln and write a report, that's not a research paper, because the point of a research paper is to be proving your argument, proving your thesis. So the last part of ours for this is writing that thesis as if you were going to go on and write the research paper. And then we've got formatting and even a template on there for you.